find a way or make a way. And that's really under Wolf. I lived by that, and that's how I really got by.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal.
And how about Coach Wolford?
What's funny, Coach Wolf, is, and even with Haycock, he taught me all this stuff, and I didn't think it would be relevant to me after football or after Youngstown State. So I still remember the first time with Wolf, and he's an intimidating fellow, right? So he had a student coaches meeting, and at the time, which it's funny you say that, it was me, Dan Kopp, and another student coach, Brian Jones, at the time were the longest tenures on the staff. And the whole point of being a student coach when you're a student coach is you want to get a GA job. That's the next step, right? And Coach Wolf brought in all these big-time coaches from all over the place. I mean, he had Phil Longo was our receivers coach. Andre Coleman was tight ends. Frank Bafano. I mean, you know it. I mean, he brought people from all over the place. So Brian and I are like, man, we're going to get big-time GA jobs. We do a great job for Coach Wolf. So he called us in. He said, guys, and he's talking. He said, I could promise you one thing. And Brian and I are kicking us on the table like, here we go. He's going to promise us GA jobs here. I promise you one thing. The experience you have as a student coach here at Youngstown State is going to help you in your life on the next chapter of what you do. And at the time, Brian and I looked at each other, rolled each other's eyes like, that's the last thing we wanted to hear, right? Mm-hmm. There has been nothing more true than when he told me that, because Haycock had GA, so I was working with the GA. Wolf didn't have GA, so we were unofficially GAs as student coaches. So it was a whole new ball game. I mean, a life of a GA. Yep. So as a junior, we were GAs without the title.
Or the pay. Exactly.
So we were breaking down those films. So I was here at the office till 7 p.m. And in a life of a lot of other people, that's nuts. In a life of a GA, that's a great day off, right? 7 p.m. It's like on a Tuesday night, right. It's usually.
It's like a half day off,
exactly.
Half day vacation.
Yeah, it's usually at the office till 11 p.m. So just the workload and my organization skills that really were self-taught, and you figure it out. A coach here a high school coach here in Tampa, Coach Sayo, used to always say, find a way or make a way. And that's really been a motto. When I came to Youngstown State, I found out you call it blue vase.
Blue vase.
So Haycock showed us that video, and They say, Sal, just say blue vase. Don't worry about it. It's the same thing. So, but find a way or make a way. And that's really under Wolf. I lived by that, and that's how I really got by. No one showed me how to really do a GA, because I had a GA do it for me. And then now you're put in this situation, when a recruit's mother says, hey, I want Diet Coke. You don't tell her we don't have Diet Cokes. You go out and you get Diet Coke. That's it. And right. As small as that, right. it was just the motto, and you just got it done.
So what I've always wondered, being around coaching, it was kind of known. You find a way. You get that Diet Coke for the, recruit's mom or whatever. Mm-hmm. So when you're in a business setting with a large group of people, we only had, a dozen coaches and 100 players. So I always tell people it's not that hard to build a good team, because, it's just not that big a group and a lot of like-minded people. So I've often wondered, how do you build that find a way, make a way, blue vase mentality in a company?
Yeah, and we're, I guess by definition, a small business. So I remind people, hey, we're not a big corporate Fortune 500. We don't have all these layers to pass or employ all these extra people. So when an opportunity presents itself, like a truck breaks down, for example, and we have to make up that route and how we're going to do it. We have to do something outside the box. I just remind everyone, let's all get on the phone, put our heads together, and we need to find a way to make a way to get done. And I'll spare you the stories, but we have done some crazy things in this. Just one quick story is, I remember we had a computer problem, and the handhelds for the orders we didn't have them. And we were here until maybe 7, 8 p.m. And we realized, well, we can hard print everything for the routes around the entire state tomorrow. So we printed them, and at 8 p.m., my dad headed south with all the paperwork. He went to the Bradenton, Fort Myers, West Palm, and Miami branches, and I headed to Orlando, Cocoa, Jacksonville, Lake City. And this was, we didn't finish until the sun got up, and when all the drivers woke up the next morning.
You dropped them there?
You dropped them off. We dropped off hard copies. So when they
that's
woke
a blue
up,
face.
That is. So when they woke up the next morning, they say the computers are down. We said, oh, we know, but we've given you, could do the old paper and pen to deliver and run the route tomorrow. Wow. That was an incredible. I think I remember getting back to Tampa as the sun was rising. I was out for a little bit.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal.